Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Good morning. I'm Lauren Casey. The time right now is 4:27. We want to thank you for joining us here on Good Morning Indiana to start your Wednesday. Before we get to your show right here, we want to talk about our top stories, including some violence down on Indy's south side. You can see the police tape here. This is at Perry Park near the ice rink there near Stop 11 Road and State Road 135 in Perry Township. We're learning that 4 people were sent to the hospital after shots fired. That includes one teenage victim who's listed in critical condition. Police are still working to learn more about this case, but they believe that a disagreement may have led to the gunfire here. Of course, we'll keep you updated. Several other victims are listed as stable at this hour. We do want to take a turn right now to our forecast. We know we have some wet weather coming our way, and we already have it in some spots. Todd, last night, I think it rained really hard for just a few minutes at my house. It was very strange.
Yeah, you know, I slept right through it, but I looked at radar this morning, Lauren, and there was that quick burst of rain. It went through. Thankfully, we avoided the severe weather because of the timing of that front going through, and now we're just left with some scattered showers that are going to be with us off and on throughout the day. By no means is today going to be a washout, but with the clouds and with the showers around, temperatures are just not going to do a whole lot. We're sitting right around 60 degrees in most locations this morning, and you can see some of the rain there on Storm Team 6 radar. You will be able to get out and about and do that walk at some point throughout the day today, but there will be periods of rain, mainly light throughout the day today, with temperatures, again, that won't move a whole lot as we only go from where we are right now, around 60 degrees to about 63 degrees for your afternoon high. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thank you so much. We do want to get to the latest numbers here on the coronavirus in the state of Indiana. Again, these numbers are updated from the state health department each day around the lunch hour. So far, we know as of yesterday, 57 new deaths reported across the Hoosier state. That brings our total deaths to 901 since this pandemic first began. We also were notified about 650 new cases of COVID-19. The total cases over 16,000, and we know 87,000 plus people have been tested across our state. We'll keep you updated on the latest numbers and what those mean as the state looks to rebound. Another story we'll have for you today is part of our Hiring Hoosiers initiative, working to connect you to jobs that are open right now. We know industries that are considered essential are the skilled trades. That includes things like plumbers, HVAC, mechanics, different technicians. So we're talking to 2 siblings who created an apparel line to promote unity and pride in the trades. Not always the most glamorous jobs, but they're hoping that more people will maybe consider them, especially at this time when those people are still busy at work. We'll have that story plus news, weather, and traffic coming up right here on Good Morning Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Gunfire erupting at a Southside park overnight, sending 4 people to the hospital. Breaking now at 4:30, what police say may have happened in the moments leading up to that shooting. Plus, is the Hoosier state closer to reopening? This morning, the governor is detailing what needs to happen before your life can get back to normal. And families with loved ones in long-term care facilities are demanding answers. Call 6 Investigates is looking at the information which facilities are now required to provide to you. But before we get to those stories, we do want to say thanks for joining us on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen is standing by at home with an active radar. And Todd, what can we expect for our Wednesday?
You know, Lauren, we'll just be under the threat of some showers off and on throughout the day today. I don't think we ever get into any really heavy rainfall, and there's no threat of severe weather today, but it's just one of those days, especially coming off 2 terrific days, that we're going to have to contend with the clouds, some cooler temperatures, and a few of these showers. You do notice that there is some light rain on the Storm Team 6 radar in spots. We'll go down here towards Bloomington and Seymour, and you can see some spotty showers there. Otherwise, what we'll wait on is this band of rainfall that's in Illinois. That is going to swing through the state during the course of the morning hours today as this area of low pressure pushes off towards the east. As the front came through last night, we got that quick burst of rain in spots, but that has since moved out. No threat of severe weather during the course of the day today. And all these showers should generally be on the light side. That is the good news. So definitely not a washout here on Wednesday, but definitely the day that features the most shower activity across the area of the entire week. 50s and 60s temperature-wise, that's not bad for this time of morning, obviously at 4:31. The problem is throughout the day today, those temperatures are just not really going to warm much at all. Here's TrueCast that shows the showers sticking around off and on throughout the day. Once we get past today, we have a cool day tomorrow, but then a great stretch of weather heading into the weekend. More on that, Lauren, for you coming up in just a bit.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. We do want to get to traffic this morning as you're heading out on the roads, maybe heading to work early this Wednesday morning. You can see traffic here on 465 near Ditch Road on the north side is traveling up to speed. The right side of your screen, you can see some bright lights. We do have scheduled road work today through Friday on Ditch Road, the bridge over 465 closing for 3 days. The closure is running daily from 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. while crews lay some asphalt. They also finish the bridge sidewalks in that area. Again, it's scheduled to be complete Friday evening, but this is all weather permitting. We know we have some wet weather, as Todd mentioned, throughout the day today. So, of course, we'll keep you updated on that project. But if that's part of your normal commute, keep that in mind. You will need to reroute. Let's take a look right now on the southeast side, I-74 and Post Road. You can see traffic here pretty quiet this morning. We'll continue to keep you updated if there are any other crashes or delays that might slow down your commute here on Good Morning Indiana. Now we want to get to some breaking news we're following from the city's south side this morning. Gunfire at a park sends 4 people, including one teenager, to the hospital. Police say the shooting happened just before 1 o'clock this morning at Perry Park, that's off Stop 11 Road. Investigators say a teenage victim is listed in critical condition this morning. Police tell us one other victim has some serious injuries, while 2 remaining victims are listed as stable. Investigators say a disagreement may have led to that gunfire. New this morning, investigators are trying to figure out what started this fire in the Bates-Hendricks neighborhood. These flames started around 11:30 last night off Olive Street near Shelby Street. Fire crews say the fire started in one home and quickly moved to the house next door. Investigators say both homes are vacant without working utilities. It is 4:33. We want to turn now to how the coronavirus pandemic is impacting Hoosier families just like your own. The Indiana State Department of Health confirming 57 new coronavirus deaths. More than 900 Hoosiers so far have died from COVID-19. Health officials also report 650 new coronavirus cases. So far, more than 16,000 Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus. Governor Eric Holcomb says he is working around the clock to reopen the Hoosier state. A big part of relaxing the stay-at-home order is statewide testing. On Tuesday, the governor announcing 20 new testing sites available free to you and Hoosiers all across our state, but he warns things will not be the same as before the pandemic.
I don't want to ever kind of take a step back because we relax our behavior and just start thinking everything's back to normal. And so our Friday plan will reflect that new normal.
Well, the governor mentioned Friday there, as you heard. That's when Indiana's stay-at-home order is scheduled to end. We have more on the governor's plan to reopen the state right now on the RTV6 app. As states begin lifting restrictions, the president is facing some growing pressure to increase nationwide testing. As ABC's Ines De La Cotera reports, the president is now facing some worries about a food supply shortage.
This morning, parts of the country back in business. Georgia setting the pace with restaurants now welcoming customers to sit down and have a meal. Beauty salons reopening.
It's impossible to practice social distancing in a nail shop.
California saying it's weeks away, not months, from easing restrictions, while New York's governor also looking for a path forward.
We want to reopen, but we want to do it without infecting more people or overwhelming the hospital system.
Simon Property Group, one of the nation's largest mall owners, now planning to reopen 49 of their malls around the country starting May 4th. And in Ohio, officials reversing course on the use of masks. After saying it was mandatory, they're now strongly recommending the measure. Meanwhile, Vice President Pence facing criticism for not wearing a mask during his visit to the Mayo Clinic, even after the hospital informed his team of their policy.
I don't have the coronavirus. I thought it'd be a good opportunity for me to be here, to be able to speak to these researchers, these incredible healthcare personnel.
This as the top infectious disease expert on the coronavirus task force warns it will likely be another month before anyone who needs a test can get one, telling CNN.
We haven't gotten it perfect yet, for sure. A lot of people feel okay about what's going on, but others still need to connect those dots, and that's what we're working on.
And with at least 21 meat plants closing with thousands of sick workers, the president now signing an executive order under the Defense Production Act to keep plants open as critical infrastructure.
There's plenty of supply.
Dr. Anthony Fauci now warning of a second wave of infections after the summer if treatments are not discovered. But there is some good news. A promising vaccine candidate now moving into clinical trials at Oxford University. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, Washington.
At 4:36, families with loved ones in Indiana nursing homes are fighting for more answers when it comes to residents testing positive for COVID-19. Call 6 Investigates Kara Kenny is working for you with information facilities are now required to provide and what the State Department of Health refuses to give out.
Gloria Benefield can only see her 91-year-old mother, Violet, through a window. Violet is a resident at Greenwood Meadows. And since we last brought you her story on April 9th, Gloria says Violet has tested positive for COVID-19. She says she's been trying for weeks to get Greenwood Meadows to tell her how many other positive cases or deaths they've had at the facility.
But I want to know the number. I want to know how they're going to isolate her when she's over this. All the back hall where she's at has COVID. What are you doing? Are you trying to get the whole facility COVID? That's exactly what's going to happen.
The Indiana State Department of Health is providing statewide totals on nursing home cases, but told us they're not breaking down cases by facility due to privacy reasons. On Monday, the state announced new requirements that long-term care facilities brief families and residents on how the facility is handling staff shortages, the number of residents who've tested positive, and the number of deaths. After this announcement, the facility told the Benefields that Greenwood Meadows has had 70 COVID-19 cases and 10 deaths. We reached out to American senior communities who told us transparency and communication with families is important to us. Should a positive COVID-19 case occur, all residents, families, and employees are notified.
It's going to require that facilities designate a staff to provide communication, and that this will occur daily, and it's to inform both the residents and their designated representatives of the total number of COVID-19 cases and deaths.
The state also created this new email address for families to contact the state. However, none of these new requirements will force nursing homes to make COVID-19 case and death information available to the public or news media. Gloria says the community deserves answers.
All humans have to have some sort of touch. Just seeing my mother through the window is not helping. It's not touching her hand or giving her a kiss or hugging her, period. And I want to know when I can do that or when the rest of us can do that.
Kara Kenny, RTV6.
Well, more than 260 people have died in Indiana in long-term care facilities. It's making up 1/3 of all the deaths in our state. To find out how to contact the state about your loved one's nursing home and to read the entire statement from American Senior Communities, just open this story in the RTV6 app. The Rebound Indiana is tracking issues that you've been having with Indiana's unemployment system. More than 26 million people across the country have filed for unemployment since this pandemic first began. But a new poll says numbers may not tell the whole story. The Economic Policy Institute says about 1/3 of the people who tried to file for unemployment were met with some sort of technical difficulty. Either websites were down or they couldn't get through to anyone with the unemployment office to answer questions. The study's author estimates as many as 13 million people have not been able to apply for benefits. This morning, a major Indiana company says they're ready to rebound and reopen their plants. A spokesperson for Columbus-based Cummins says that the company will reopen 3 plants next week. The plants closed back on April 6 amid the COVID-19 concerns and a decline in business. Workers will return to the Columbus and Seymour engine plants and the Columbus Systems plants. A date for employees to return to the Cummins facility in Wellsboro has not been decided at this time. Federal regulators are sounding the alarm nearly 2 years after the July 2018 deadly duck boat incident, killing 17 people, including 9 members of an Indianapolis family. On Tuesday, the NTSB announcing the Coast Guard is asking for the removal of canopies from the vessels. Investigators say the canopies and overall boat design contributed to the deadly incident in Branson, Missouri. 9 members of Tia Coleman's family, including her husband and 3 children, were killed in that disaster.
I think that Tia is grateful, and the families are grateful that the NTSB has made these recommendations, but remain frustrated that the Coast Guard has simply failed to live up to its mission to protect passengers on vessels within their jurisdiction.
Since the incident in Branson, Ripley Entertainment has suspended operations of its boats. The company is facing multiple lawsuits. We reached out to them and we are still waiting for a comment. Protesters are calling for changes when it comes to testing inmates at a northern Indiana prison. Still ahead this morning, the major limitations correction officials say that they are facing. Todd.
And Lauren, we're dealing with some scattered showers in the forecast here throughout the day today. You'll want to have the umbrella handy if you have to be out and about. The good news, though, going forward, there is improvement just in time for the weekend. We'll talk all about it coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast. The time now is 4:42. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV6.
Airing Hoosiers only on RTV6.
Welcome back. It is 4:45. Here's a live look at I-69 all the way up at State Road 38. You can see traffic moving on the interstate is moving along up to speed, both northbound and southbound. No issues on I-69 at this early hour to slow you down. Well, protesters are demanding better treatment for inmates at a northern Indiana prison where there's a COVID-19 outbreak. This morning, 143 prisoners and 36 staff members at Westville Correctional Facility have tested positive for the coronavirus. Protesters say inmates want to be tested, but they're being ignored. Indiana's Department of Corrections has a limited number of tests and says it can only test those with strong symptoms. The outbreak has roughly half of the facility's inmates either in quarantine or isolation. A second Navy warship has been hit by an outbreak of the coronavirus while out at sea. There are nearly 50 coronavirus cases aboard the USS Kidd among the crew of 330. The first case of a sailor was taken off the destroyer by medevac when he showed COVID-19 symptoms. The Kidd was on patrol for drug smugglers in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific. It will return back to port in San Diego in the coming days for a good cleaning before heading out again. Back here in Indiana, opening day for Holiday World in southern Indiana is on hold thanks to the COVID-19 outbreak, but park officials are not letting the virus stop them from having some fun. The amusement park is holding a digital opening day on Saturday. The park will release videos all day with things like a fireworks show, interactive videos for kids, and even teach you how to make your favorite park snacks. This morning, the park says that they plan on opening in early June. And Todd, we know it's hard for all these businesses and places to not be open, but I do appreciate how creative everyone is being to, put things online and get kids busy. So we'll hope that things can open up soon.
Yeah, whether it's theme parks like that or, gyms have been doing Zoom workouts and, of course, schools are doing all the e-learning. And everybody, as you mentioned, again, very, very creative. I know people are playing dice games, left, right, center, virtual with Zoom over the weekend. So, yeah, everybody's being creative, which is a good thing. Today's one of those days where we deal with some rain showers off and on throughout the day. Today, they're probably the most numerous here this morning. And then you notice as they go throughout the course of the day, they become a little more scattered in nature. The percentage you see there is the coverage of the showers. And right now we're dealing with some heavier downpours here and there across southern portions of the area, Bloomington to Nashville over towards Seymour and North Vernon. That's the heaviest of the rain. It's dry in downtown right now, but we'll be in and out of the showers throughout the day today. You notice the showers right now are still making their way basically from south to north across the area. What's going to happen as I expand out is as the area of low pressure starts to go from where it is right now over Indiana and makes its way eventually off towards the east. All the rain that you see off to our west here, that is going to pinwheel through the area and then off to the east as well. And that's why we're going to maintain showers in this forecast off and on throughout the remainder of the day. Here's TrueCast. You see the scattered rain showers off and on here and there across the area through the early noon hour. And then as we work our way into the evening, still some showers around. We're never really going to get into a heavy rainfall, and there's definitely dry dry hours of the day mixed in, but always the threat of showers, and that's really just going to continue all the way into the day tomorrow. This is a very slow-moving area of low pressure that we're going to have to contend with at least for about the next 36 to 48 hours. But once we get past that, we're in great shape. Temperatures this morning with the clouds and the showers, not all that bad. We're sitting in the 50s and 60s. The problem is we're just not going to warm much at all here throughout the day today, as we'll see temperatures only get up to right around 61, 62 degrees for our afternoon highs. Now tomorrow, it's a little bit cooler across the area as we get on the backside of that low pressure. Right now, we're still on the warmer side with those temperatures that I just showed you, but tomorrow is a very chilly day for us with highs that only be in the low to maybe mid 50s if we are lucky. And TrueCast for tomorrow looks very similar to today with the swirl and the showers around. So keep that in mind if you do have plans tomorrow. But once we get to Friday, we are in much better shape as we'll get the sunshine back into the forecast. Temperatures in the mid 60s. Saturday looks great, 75 with partly cloudy skies and then some spotty showers as the front comes through on Sunday. But there are a lot of dry hours Sunday mixed in as well, and temperatures still nice and mild, Lauren, at 73 degrees.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look right now. This is to the south, I-465, a little west of Emerson Avenue. You can see traffic in this area is traveling up to speed, part of that detour route if you have to avoid I-70 on the east side. So keep that in mind. It looks like everything is moving along, though, so you won't have any delays. Let's take a look over here right now at I-70 and Sam Jones Expressway. No traffic to show you on the camera, but take a look at this view, a little nest, and you see a birdie there in the nest. So we don't have a lot of traffic going on the interstate, so the commute is pretty smooth at this hour, so maybe this will bring you a little smile this morning. Also new this morning, the wrongful death lawsuit has been filed in connection with the death of a Girl Scout last summer. 11-year-old Isabel Meyer died when a tree fell on her and a group of Girl Scouts at Camp Cook in Cannleton. The court records show that a wrongful death suit has been filed to represent Isabel's estate. It's not clear who's being sued or how much the damages are being asked for. Now, we are working for you this morning as a number of Hoosiers face uncertainty during the COVID-19 pandemic. You may be considering taking a home equity line of credit. They operate like a personal loan. However, lenders are making it harder to get equity lines of credit. JP Morgan Chase has temporarily stopped accepting new applications for this altogether. Other lenders like Wells Fargo have raised the minimum credit score for equity lines to 720. Experts say refinancing your home could be an easier option, but be sure to speak with a financial advisor before you do that. When Indiana restaurants are first to have carry-out only options, one Franklin business owner quickly changed how things operated. New this morning, we're checking in with him to see how he's still serving that community. We'll be right back.
Hey, you can make a difference.
We're making food out of any, all these contributions from other folks too.
Well, when the stay-at-home order first went into place, many restaurants felt the impact right away. Some of them even changed their business models to focus on carry-out and delivery options. So back in March, as part of our We're Open Indy effort, we showed you how this Franklin restaurant started cooking up warm meals every night. And owner Richard Goss was going above and beyond, offering free meals to anyone in need. So we checked back in with Richard now that many weeks have passed since we last spoke with him to get an update on just how many people they've been able to serve so far. He tells me thanks to contributions of labor and meals from that community, they've been able to serve more than 7,600 free warm meals to people in need. About 1/4 of those meals have been delivered to seniors in the community, and the rest served curbside off Main Street for anyone in need. On average, Richards serves more than 200 people a night between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. You can continue to support this local business by ordering carry-out from them. For hours and information, just go to richardskitchen.com. And Todd, you always do your Takeout Tuesday recommendations. My hot take from Richards would be their garlic pinwheel appetizer. Very delicious.
Sounds pretty good. Even at 4:56 in the morning, I can go for some garlic pinwheel and a pizza while we're at it. All right. Outside right now, we're dealing with some scattered showers off and on. They'll be very, very light with a high temperature today of 64 degrees. Tomorrow, more in the way of showers, but it's cooler. We're on the backside of the area of low pressure, so 55 is all we could do for the temperature. 65, though, with the sunshine back on Friday. Then the weekend temperatures will be in the 70s, looking very, very nice, especially Saturday. The showers you see on Sunday, they should just be spotty cloudy across the area. The time now is 4:57. This is Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV6. We're back in just a couple minutes. Stay with us. We'll see you then.